Over to you, Jaya.
Okay, yeah. Cheerful morning, my dear guests and my dear members. I am the Toastmaster for the day, Sergeant at Arms for today, and my name is Jay Lakshmi. I welcome you all to the Speaker Squad Toastmaster Club educational session. As Toastmasters, we follow three cardinal rules. Rule number one, please refrain yourself from talking about sex, politics, and religion, and keep your mobile phones in silent mode and keep yourself on mute if you're not speaking. And finally, please don't forget to turn off your video if you're moving out of the meeting. With that, I am welcoming our presiding officer for today, Toastmaster Jayanti, to take over the session. Over to you, Toastmaster Jayanti.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jaya. You have set the tone of the meeting just right. And I welcome everyone, our Toastmasters and guests. Well, it's a very beautiful morning. Why? I have asked many Toastmasters and many colleagues. Last week has been a very busy week for me, and I know for all of you who are present here. But it's really good to see, and it's really refreshing to see that despite all the responsibilities we had, we just wrapped them up, we kept them aside, and made sure that we are present here on time. And that is really commendable and amazing. I always appreciate that, and I always appreciate that members are being present here despite all their responsibility. And very good to see you all, see all of you. Today is going to be a special day for the club. And why? We will see that soon. But before that, I'll quickly announce the meeting open. And today we have a guest with us, Mayuri. So, hi Mayuri, would you like to tell us a bit about yourself?
Hi everyone. So today this is my first day in the Toastmaster. I'm pretty excited to see what is ahead, what is there ahead. And currently I'm working in an IT company. I actually last year only I shifted to Bangalore, so I was looking out for new opportunities where I can connect with people. So I think this looks like a perfect place.
Yeah, I know, Mayuri, you are really passionate about learning something because you have been in touch with me for a couple of weeks and I can see your passion. And I'm sure you will get to learn a lot of things from today's session, no doubt.
Yeah,
I hope you
thanks.
have a good time.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on, I have few good news and some announcements before we move on to our main session. So I'll quickly go over them. First thing is a good news that we have become a distinguished club. So let's give a big round of applause for the club. It took almost 6-7 months to get to this point, but I'm sure I must say that it is all worth it. When I say every time you give a speech, every time you attend a training, you take up a role, it adds a point for the club. And this time it was Richard's speech level completion gave us that final 5th point, and we are distinguished club now. I'm really, really happy to announce that. And we'll soon announce few more recognitions as well. So that's a very good news, and I'm really proud to announce that. Second thing is this time we had a new member joined us, Toastmasters Sheetal. She is not here, but I welcome her to the club. And announcement is that in next 2 to 3 weeks, we will be having our club contest. The most probable date is 18, but we'll confirm that soon based on the nominations. So you will be receiving a Google form and you can nominate yourself. If you want to go for ISC, just go ahead and give that, participate in the speech contest. If you are not in level 2 completion, if you have not completed level 2 yet, then don't think anything, just go for table topics and evaluation. This is a special session, how to go about table topics. So I'm sure you will get a lot of points, and so do not hesitate to go for the table topic contest at least. So that is all. And one last and a quick announcement is soon we will be doing the moments of truth, where you can share your suggestions or any views that you have about the club. What I'm thinking next week after our regular session, please block your calendar for half an hour. So we'll do that on the spot. Lots of announcements. And I'll now hand over the stage to the stars of our sessions. And the first star comes here, the Toastmaster of the day. He is one of the co-founders of the club. He is our current treasurer and the associate VP Ed. Is a very diligent member, and I always look up to him for so many things because he is punctual, sincere, and sticks to what he says. Those are some of the things that I admire about him. And talking about what Richard currently is doing, he's learning copywriting and he's reading a book. I hope it is a book that's 101 questions to ask before you get engaged by H. Norman, right? So if anybody wants to planning to get married, maybe this is the book for them. So with that, I hand over the stage to Toastmaster Richard. Let's give him a big round of applause.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Jayanti. Well, the whole purpose of education is to turn mirrors into windows, which is a great quote by Sidney J. Harris. And one of the sole reason for today's education session is we have, as Jayanti clearly mentioned, we have a club contest coming up in next 2 to 3 weeks, and which means we have to, or we want to support as much as possible we can, especially to all the new members who have joined us. The contest will also give us experience to face the fear that we have. A little bit about Toastmasters. Toastmasters is a non-profit education organization. One of the sole purposes of Toastmasters is promoting communication, public speaking, and leadership. Toastmasters has served over 4 million people. Today, the organization serves over 3,64,000 members in around 145 countries. That's a huge number. And there are close to 16,200 member clubs. And to give you a brief about today's order of events, there is an education session lined up. And soon I will introduce the guest speaker. And we have a Q&A session after the education session. And what better way to, after learning what we have learned in the education session and put that into practice by having a table topic session lined up as well for each and every one of us. And without further ado, let me introduce our guest speaker today. She is currently serving as an area director for F4, serving as president for Patar Panchali, won numerous times at a club level contest for best speaker, table topic speaker, evaluator, and she has also won an ISC area runners up in 2022 and have been in Toastmaster for close to 8 years now. Can you please have a round of applause for Toastmaster Sumaya?
Thank you so much, Toastmaster John. And it's good. Don't worry. If we are just 8 of us, it's fun because the 8 of us will learn with each other. With that, I was told that the education session would be something on creative table topics. And I was wondering if I am the right choice, if Jayanti is making the correct choice. So let me start with a story. We started almost 8 years back. And my manager in JPMC literally forced me to go and attend this soft skill training that was going on in one of the training rooms. And I was told that it's just 1.5 hours training and you do it once and you learn all the tricks of public speaking. You become expert after that 1.5 hours and you come out of it and you don't need to go back. With that promise in mind, I entered that room and I saw it's something totally different. There were some demo meeting going on. There were people from some districts that had come. There were people getting selected for the club members and 50 of us were chosen. I had no clue. I had raised my hand and I was chosen for the club. Trust me, that's the thing. And for 1 month, I didn't even visit. Now, in JPMC, the policy was if you don't visit, like the company was paying for your membership, they sent an escalation email to my manager. And my manager was like, what is this? Why you're not visiting? That's going to get into the radar, goes to the senior management and stuff like that. So please go ahead and start attending these meetings at least twice in a month. JPMC was doing it every week. Fine. Went ahead, literally forced by my manager, the first meeting that I ever attended. And it was in one of the rooms in JPMC. I'm not sure how many of you have been able to visit there. It was in the Electra room where we had our TLI sessions last term, not this term. It was last term. One of those meeting rooms. And it seems they just completed their prepared speech. When I entered, the table topics were starting and they were like, we have a guest among us. I'm like, no, I'm a member of your club. And they were like, okay, just come up. And I stood there, I was given a topic, and for few seconds, literally few seconds, I had no clue what they're asking me to do. But trust me, it was something that touched my heart because I was going through a phase at that time. Right after my maternity, I was not sure like if I'm doing a correct thing, keeping my daughter at home, am I doing justice at work? And you wouldn't believe the table topic that I was given was my guilty conscience. While speaking for the first couple of seconds, I literally had tears in my eyes because these were the things which I was not able to share with anyone. If I come and speak at home, people would misunderstand. If I tell it with my team members, they would misunderstand, thinking, what is she speaking? There was a room full of unknown people where I can go and share my feelings without any doubt. Yes, for a few seconds, I was literally had tears. My voice was breaking, but we had Toastmasters in the room, sitting in the front row, clapping and telling, Sumaya, go on, go on. And that's it. I continued my story 2.5 minutes. No one made me stop speaking. And even now, that's what I did today. Even now, when I was told, come and start a creative table topic. Don't you feel this is how my education session started? I started with a story. I had full integrity, honesty in that story because there was nothing that I had to add on to it. It was a story which came out from my heart. The feelings were true, the passion, you can feel it. It's something that I love sharing always. And that's where I started. Now, you would feel that, Sumaya, the topics that we would get might not be something that we can link with our stories. Who told you you can't? They might give us a topic, right? And this is what I've always heard in Toastmasters. There is no wrong or a mistake that we do in Toastmasters. So suppose we get a topic. It can be any topic, but we might misinterpret or we might understand it in a very different way. That's fine. That's my understanding of the topic that was given to me by my table topic master. What do I do with it? I spin a story around it. I tell the facts about it. I share my thoughts about the topic. I can go for it or against it. It really doesn't matter. But that 2.5 minutes is mine, which I'm going to use it to my full utilization because it's very difficult to get that stage presence, don't you think, in our life? We all love spotlights, don't we? But we are scared of it. You have given the spotlight. You have 2.5 minutes. Come share whatever you feel so that whatever is your understanding out of the topic, let's do it. Now, while I was thinking about what we will be sharing about it, a very simple topic, right? Ice creams. Now, if I was given a choice to speak about ice creams, what would I say? That's what I was thinking. Trust me, literally, while I was washing the utensils in the morning in the kitchen today. Now, what I thought out of that was there can be many takes of it, right? It can be I love ice creams or I hate ice creams, or I can be someone who will go in between. I can start stories about, okay, let's spin a story about that, okay? Can we have volunteers maybe? Any one of you would like to go for it? Anything on ice creams for a minute? Sure. Yep, Ritika, you're on. So I know Ritika is the timer as well. Let me time you. Okay, let me get my this thing. So, Ritika, your topic is simple. It just says about ice creams.
I don't have a sweet tooth, but who doesn't like to be sweet to one another and especially to oneself? Similarly, ice creams are not my go-to sweets. I love kulfis, I love milk cake and all those sweets. But yes, ice creams, the thought of it jars my teeth because it's so cold. But like we always like to be sweet, when my friends ask me for a treat of ice creams or something, I just go there and make the most of it and simply pick up a chocolate ice cream because that pleases me. It has a dense taste. I love the color of it and I love the after effect of a chocolate ice cream. So, in general, when we are in a bad mood, when we are in a happy mood, remember to always be sweet to each other. You may not want to have sweets, but you tend to have sweets just to please others. Similarly, spread the sweetness and enjoy your ice cream whenever you can. With that, back to you, Toastmaster Sumaya.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ritika. And I will just request Toastmaster Sureka if you can just go on mute if you're not speaking, because there's some disturbance that's coming from your end. Perfect. So, if you would have noticed what Toastmaster Ritika did here, she shared her feelings about ice creams and she didn't stick with ice cream, right? She gave examples of kulfis and the stuff that she likes, and she also had a personal message along with that. That's one of the ways you can do it, right? This is how we spin our stories. So when we are on spot, there are so many things that happens within that few seconds. It's very difficult, you know, if you don't know what you have in your mind to speak and think and continue in that process. So it's fine if you take that few seconds that we get in the beginning, think what you are going to do. Any table topic is like your prepared speech as well, which will have an intro, a body, and a conclusion, just like how Ritika did. It had a flow. She concluded it and she made sure that the entire thing was in the content, the transitions happened. Now, this was what Ritika did for a minute, but we get 2.5 minutes, right? So we have to make sure that we have good content in that. Now, how do you and put contents in your table topics? So let me share what I do, right? What I have been doing from the past few years have been I prepare loads of speeches. I love to give prepared speeches. I make sure that I deliver my speeches, and when I'm doing that, I have made sure I've completed few modules and levels and parts and all, right? And when I do that, by now I think I've written in the last 7 to 8 years, I have some 50 speeches in my desktop saved. Now, when you have 50 speeches that you have written, right? So you will all understand that each speech, when we write for 6 to 7 minutes, right? 5 to 7 minutes speech, which had around 700 words, we would have done so much of research on those speeches. We would have done the background checks on it. We would have found out my interest on it, like why I want to give that topic particularly on. And see, when we say that I love ice cream, I can go on it for 2 to 2.5 minutes easily. And that's why it's a table topic. But when it comes to a prepared speech, we need to prepare it properly. Now, you'll be thinking why I'm talking about prepared speeches. I'll come to that next. What happens when you have the speeches ready with you is you get a topic and you can suddenly feel that this topic is connected to one of your topic that you have in your prepared speeches. Life is a circle, trust me. Somehow or the other, those topics get connected. What happens? You have a 700 word speech that's there in your mind. You just need to pick up one para out of it, and your 2.5 minutes table topic is done. That's one of the trick that I have done, and it has been used multiple times, trust me. The beginning of the speech, the education session that I did today was nothing but my icebreaker speech, which I prepared for the fourth time. Like I have like 5 icebreaker speeches. This was my fourth icebreaker speech from which I started my education session today, because I felt this would connect with the audience that we have today in among us, and we will be able to understand how we can spin the stories. So this is one of your ways of adding content. That is, start writing your speeches. Make sure you don't have to write 50 speeches. At least complete your levels, right? Like we'll be having a club contest coming soon. We'll be having the ISC table topic evaluation. What best way to prepare it would be write few speeches, make sure that you complete your level 2 and you are eligible for your ISC. One tick done. While you're preparing for your prepared speeches, you are also preparing for your table topic. The second tick is done. So you're literally prepared for 2 of the contests that's coming up in the near future. Evaluation is a different take, which actually also will be taken care, because when you are delivering your prepared speeches where you hear the different evaluators, when you hear the feedback provided to you, you actually remember those feedback. I still remember my first evaluator who told me what all were the points. So in this way, just because you're preparing for a table topic, you're making sure you have yourself prepared for the other 2 contests as well. Now, this is one of the points for content. There are various other ways you can add on contents, like need to go back and see what you love doing. Not all of you would love reading books, which I do. So I'm not telling you and enforcing you, no, you have to go back and start reading books. You need to read this, you need to read that. No, please, you don't need to do that. What actually you can do is find out what you really love. Some of you might like reading those Instagram messages, or there will be those Twitter posts. There would be so many things that comes on, small ones, right? Pick up a newspaper. We all like to know, right? What happened in the budget on 1st of Feb? We can spin a humor out of it, don't you feel? Now, there was someone who asked me, like, how was the budget? For me, the budget was I got to know that the companies which are in the AES zones have to make sure that their employees are coming to the office, or else the companies would be fined with taxes. Now, this is something which is related with our lives as well, and something that can be spun in into any of your topics. This was just an example which you can pick up. Now, someone might say, I love traveling, which has nothing to do with reading books or getting content. But don't you feel when you travel a lot, you get to meet people, you have so much content that can get added on to the content of your table topic speeches. Now we keep telling table topic, table topic, table topic. What are table topics, right? Table topic. Topics which can be easily discussed while you are having a cup of tea or coffee over a table. Don't you believe so? It can be something that you can easily discuss, right? So, when you come across a topic which is given to you, don't feel that you are up on a stage delivering a table topic speech. Just imagine that you're sitting just like how we are doing right now, nine good friends who have met after a long time, maybe virtually or in presence, if your club is going to do it in person, right? In person, and we are just discussing things, and we are making sure that I am able to convince the eight of them post my 2.5 minutes that I was to a certain extent correct if I was going to give them some information, or if I was trying to share a story, I would have been able to convince them end of my 2.5 minutes. Don't we all want to get that acknowledgement, right? That's all is about table topics, where we make sure that the content that we have delivered is acknowledged and people have been able to listen, take it back with them. Some information, something that they will remember. It so happened that there was this Toastmaster in one of in JPMC, the club, one of my home clubs, right? And I still remember her table topic. Trust me, she spoke something about Aurora Borealis, that beautiful light that comes over Alaska, right? And trust me, what I always used to do was, I've heard of it. It was something we learned in our geography. But after listening to her, I literally went back and researched about it. Saw so many YouTube videos, and I read about it. I saw the pictures, and post that, like her, it's one of my bucket list now. It's in one of the lists that I should go and see it live once in my lifetime. This is how one of your table topic can impact someone's life, isn't it? So you can be someone who will be remembered. So you might be wondering who this Toastmaster is. If I loved it so much, do I remember her name? Oh yes, definitely. It was someone called Toastmaster Supriya. I don't know how many of you would know her or not. She was one of the very veterans in GPMC. Made sure that she becomes my mentor so that I get mentored from her. And trust me, that's a different story altogether. With that, let's try something. Let's put all the points together. What we saw, right? So you get a table topic, you are on the stage, you take your 30 seconds, you find out that the contents, right? What you want to spin the story about. Now, when I was a kid, all my essays would start with something like, we all human beings are social animals and we need to do blah blah blah. There was an introduction which I had always prepared. If you feel that there can be a common introduction which you can prepare, go ahead and do it. No one knows it, right? That's yours. You can prepare 2 3 introductions and keep it, which can be connected with any table topics. Now, coming to it, you have your topic, you are on the stage, you took your 30 seconds, you feel that topic, you don't know any clue about it. Whatever you understood at that time, right? Start speaking about it. Just start thinking about how you're going to do it. So suppose they have given you a very just a green leaf and you have no clue what to do about it. You can start from the color of the leaf. You can start explaining about it and then start spinning it. I know the topics will not be so easy. It might be those you, like the phrases that they give you, where there's will, there's a way. Start from a story. Start from something which you would have done in your childhood, so that your story will be, and trust me, all our stories are connected in some way or the other. We are all Indian, we with the same similar kind of background, only maybe some uses mustard oil, some uses coconut oil in their food. That's the only difference. End of the day, we are all rice eaters, chapati eaters. We have our favorite foods. We love going out for movies, we will go and watch the movies and then crib about it. So anything under the sun you see, people will be able to connect with you. Just the other day, because of all the hype, I went and saw Pathan. It was pathetic, but I am a huge SRK fan. Can't say that it was pathetic. I loved it. My kids loved it. So anyone asking me, I'm saying everyone liked it except me. So that's a different story. So see, there are so many things under this world which you can pick up and start talking about. End of the day, why you are all here? Because somehow or the other, you are all Toastmasters who love speaking and are not getting words to express yourself. Back to my points, right? I was counting. So you have a topic, you have 30 seconds, you have your thoughts, you get something, make sure you have an introduction and a conclusion. The body comes in between. There should be a transition. And this all might sound easy. It's not easy. Start preparing some speeches as well, because when you write your prepared speeches, some way or the other, you are preparing yourself for the table topic as well. And whatever you love doing, start thinking about it. Yes, I love pottery. Why? Because the intrinsic colors of it gives me peace of mind. Start thinking in that way. Why I like this? I love reading a book because I get lost in the characters and I feel that with their happiness, I am happy. With their sadness, I am sad. Think about this like the lines, right? Which would add on a value to your table topics. Read some quotes if you feel you love it. Like I love starting my content with a quote, ending it with a quote, and all those fancy things I used to do a lot. But now I do the quotes which I feel are connected with my life, right? Don't try to fit in something which might not be useful. That's fine. You don't need to always make sure that you have to have a quote or something. Keep it, end it with a question. It's the same thing that we all say about our prepared speeches. The same thing is applicable for table topics. So with that, I'm really not sure if I was able to motivate you guys to, go and attend a table topics contest. But what I would suggest is, which I would have done in the past, is go and attend any of the club meetings that's happening during the table topic time. Raise your hand, say I want to take a topic, start speaking about it. The first time you will stammer, the second time you will stammer, the third time you might start speaking about it. And why is that? Because the first time when you stammer, you will go back and you will think about the topic and you might have some content in your head. Second time when you stammer, you will be saying, was I really so pathetic that I couldn't do it? You will actually write down your table topic. I have so many table topics written. So attend few of your club meetings, other area meetings, anywhere, wherever, because with the online life has become so easy. You can attend any meetings, right? And I know the audience is shrinking, so anyone would love a guest. Go there, attempt your table topics, and you will know what kind of topics are also there in the head, right? There will be very generic topics that would be given to you during a contest. When it comes to the area or division level contest, we have strict instruction that your topic shouldn't be too long, 6 to 7 words. People should be able to, listen to it. So even when a table topic master, when you are having a contest in your club, please keep those things in mind so that the topics are easy, right? You will have to choose 5, 6 topics, and the chief judge will tell you which one, right? Whoever is the table topic contest master from your club who will be doing it. But end of the day, it will be a human being who will be choosing that topic. Someone, not automatic robot or someone. So I'm sure you'll be able to connect. With that, I stop my case here. I'm open for questions and anything that you guys have to ask me about table topics. Yes, Richa. I hope I didn't scare everyone.
The biggest thing is when you get a topic,
Hmm.
some of the times you go blank. I
Yes.
don't understand the topic. How is it that you start the topic then?
Okay. What I generally do, right? Sometimes what happens, like I've got a topic, my almost 30 seconds is up. I start blabbering. And then I start connecting with what the topic was. I'm giving you a very honest opinion, but don't go and do that on a table topics contest or something. But that's what I have done. But trust me, Richa, if someone is giving you topics like that, which is very difficult to interpret, shouldn't have been there. I don't know why people have this misconception that topics should be very difficult when it comes to that. We want our members to speak up. So easy topics will be the way of, going through things. That's one way. But still, if you feel it's very difficult, Just give a interpretation of what you felt of the topic. Now, give me any topic, Richa, which you feel that you felt in the past was difficult. Let's see, like anything.
Should I go? Should I give?
Yeah, give.
Grass is yellow.
Exactly. Now, grass is yellow. The moment you told me, I was able to connect with it, though. That's different. The thing is, it's a picture, right? You see the grass is yellow and you start speaking about anything about it. You can say during the summers, the grasses are generally turns yellow because of the scorching heat. And then this reminds me of my childhood when I used to go to my granny's houses in the villages. There would be this paddy fields filled with it, and near it, there would be this barren lands of grasses. Me and my cousins used to play there, and you start spinning. Grasses are yellow are gone. You speak about your childhood, you speak about your cousins, you speak about those things, and then you come back. So hence, the moment I hear this term today, I was taken back to my childhood. Maybe for some the grasses are yellow, for me some the grasses are green, but for me, whenever someone says grasses are yellow, it's my childhood memories. So this is how I generally, I take it away somewhere, speak about something totally different, connected back here. That's all I did right now. I don't know, your take might have been something totally different, frankly speaking, Richa. It's a bit personal as well, right? When you get a topic. You tell me how you would have taken it, Richa. Seriously.
No,
I need like few
I am
questions.
blank with this topic, right? So that's why I said.
No, but what do you feel now? Like, would you be still be able to connect with it with something when you say grasses are yellow?
I probably would have thought that grass is yellow. Okay, this grass is not really watered, which means that you're not on a very a place where you have heavy rainfall, which reminds me that you might not get everything delivered to you when you want it, or delivered to you on a silver platter, and you go ahead, you work for it, you try hard to make it happen. Maybe something like that I would have.
Perfect. Perfect. See, that's such a good take out of that. Like, I took the easy way out, you took a very difficult way out of it, but it's very nice. And while you're telling that, take one small story from your life. Now, what would it be? It can be anything, like while you were struggling to, I don't know, Richa, anything, right? Like your exams or your job, anything where you had some struggle. For me, to everything I can connect with a struggle. That's different story. So you can connect with that and you can say, so grasses will always be yellow, but it's a good take, trust me. So don't give away saying that you can't. It is a good take, end of the day. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Because every one of us will have a different perspective of what topics we get. We just need to make sure we are able to, connect with something which is there in our memories or in our speeches or something we have read, and make sure we build that story out of that. I create stories, you can create informations. Yeah, Toastmaster Ritika.
Sumaya, since I don't know how will we be conducting the contest, Jayanti, will it
Mm-hmm.
be an online contest or will it be a hybrid online? So when we talk about contests, and the judges ballot has a lot of categories, including content, body language, gestures, stage movement, stage presence, so many things. I mean, since we have become online, the judges ballot has remained how it was historic. So, pun intended, of course. But that puts the contestants in a fix, because for in 2 minutes, if you're going to keep on moving like this
Yes.
just to impress the judges, to tick that slot for stage movement, personally I feel dizzy when I see a contestant moving so much. It distracts me, I can't focus on what they are trying to say. But if as a contestant I feel I'm going to stand here, and then I am losing a chance at that tick in the judges ballot. So what is the middle way that a contestant should choose, so that the judges are also impressed, and the audience doesn't feel dizzy looking at me, and I am comfortable delivering, because 2.5 minutes is a very short duration to do everything.
Exactly.
So
That's a very valid question, Toastmaster Ritika, right? Okay. I don't know, few people might not agree with me. For me, body language doesn't mean that I need to move around the stage. It can be me delivering my speech, sitting over here with my vocal and my expressions, right? So when I'm sitting, my entire face, so I'm using my hands only, which you can't see also half the time. it is my how I express myself. It might be my facial expression totally, which will become the body language at that moment. It would be the expressions are connecting with the words and are connecting with the voice modulations, right? So when I say something which makes me happy, I'm saying happy, automatically I'm smiling. It's not something that I am doing how do I say it, purposely. It has become a second skin for me. It comes how Toastmaster Ritika, because while you were asking me the question as well, you had all the body languages that was required for that question. It's out of practice, right? Don't you agree to that?
Mhm.
And when you do, when you deliver more, you will be able to practice more. So it can be you deliver your prepared speeches, but know that the time is less. What I would suggest is start delivering your table topics speeches more in various clubs. If you feel that few judges might think that you need to stand up and deliver, see your space. And now, since you mentioned that it's going to be an online contest, the tip that I would give to all the members in your club would be find that place in your house where you feel that you don't have that distractions. Because I have a blur now. During the contest, they would not allow you to keep a blur. Why is that so? Because it makes your hand movement gestures
Mhm.
hazy. You have to find that place where you can't blur your background. You have to see, you have to make sure if you're using a headphone, if you're able to stand up and all. And the next thing is, you can just stand and deliver. You don't need to use your stage. When I say stand and deliver, because it's easy to stand and deliver while you're sitting, you are in your comfort zone. The moment you stand up, you are out of your comfort zone. So start practicing it as well. But end of the day, what I would suggest is this technicalities you have to practice. You have to make sure that you have taken care of it. I see that all of us, even me myself today, I'm sitting and doing it because I know the setup is ready for me. But if you feel like the moment you stand up, it might, have some impact, just set it up. So you have to do a lot of practice on that. When it comes to table topics, Toastmaster Ritika, it really doesn't make sense, to move all the three stages where you have this. You can't stand at one place. But yes, when you have something impactful, you can come forward with your thing. You have your things, you can go back. When you're talking about something in childhood, you can show it like this. Some common things that
Okay.
we really do, right?
Yeah.
Those would help. When you're happy, just show your hands, but that's it. Like, I'm showing I'm so happy, but my hand is out of my videos only, right? So you have to make sure when you stand, these things get covered, but your facial expression should be visible. That's it. That all together should help you during the online. But any day offline is the best. That's what I feel. But again, we are not getting that practice, right? We are not going up on the stage, we are not seeing our stages, we are not feeling the vibes, we are not getting scared of those faces, right? You have to enter a room where there are
Yeah.
faces, and it happened with me, like offline. Suddenly, after 2 years of COVID, when I went, I forgot, like, I was a grammarian, I have to give a word of the day. I didn't even give them that. It was a demo meeting. Luckily for me, the college students weren't aware that the grammarian gives a word of the day. But it happened with me after like 5 6 years of experience. Can happen with anyone, right? So yeah, go with the online contest now, but think about hybrid as well.
Yep. Yep, that helps, Sumaya. I really so for many of you who are not familiar with the contest, it's not recorded. And I really hope that one of our earlier contests was recorded and you all could actually see how we used to do it. The stage used to look so big, but we had to divide it into three parts. I used to stand in the middle, left, right. That's what the mentor always like a navigator. Okay, Ritika, left, okay, right. That's how we used to cover the entire stage and get that tick in the judges ballot. Now of course online ballot has remained the same, stage has
Stages
squeezed,
reduced.
so we need to be more creative. Yep, all right, thanks a lot, Toastmaster Sumaya.
No worries. I think I've taken a lot of your time. You guys can move on with your next segment. I'm available anytime. Call me up for your questions. No problem.
Thank you so much, Sumaya. The biggest takeaway for me was integrating my speech stories or speeches into my table topics. So that was a big takeaway for me. And moving on, we have to put this education session into practice, which means I would have to introduce our timer for the day. Timer for the day is a person who is always packed with energy, and I always wonder Saturday morning, where do they get the energy from, or where does she especially get the energy from? Also, she's always ready to pick up any roles given at any point in time. We do not even have to, worry about it. So, can I please introduce Ritika?
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Richard. But before I go on, let's give a big round of applause to Toastmaster Sumaya for her education session. Lots of takeaways, and of course, takeaways were huge. The only challenge is to keep it within 2.5 minutes. And that is why I have taken up the timer role today to time each of our table topic speakers to respect time and keep time as well. So today, as a timer for all the table topic speakers, I will be showing my virtual background. So at the end of the first 1 minute, I will be changing my background to green. At the end of 1.5 minutes, it will turn to yellow. At the end of 2 minutes, it will turn to red. And remember, 30 seconds extra will be given to the speakers to wrap up their speech. The red card will continue to show till the speaker finishes a speech and hands it back to the table topic master. All the very best to all the TT speakers, and back to you, Toastmaster Richard.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ritika. Up next, we have our table topics master, and I'm always fond of how she addresses any table topics because I feel she's a good table topic speaker as well. She is a data engineer by profession, passionate about solving puzzles. She has served as an SA, VP Education, and former president of Morgan Stanley Club. Currently serving as an area director of D1. So, can you please have a huge round of applause for Richa?
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Richard. Hi, everyone. I am back with a lot of table topics. And as we discussed earlier, table topics is the impromptu speech section where you have to utilize all the learnings which Toastmaster Sumaya gave us in her creative table topics educational session and probably come up with 1 to 2 minutes of speech for these. Now, remember, I have prepared the topic as Toastmaster Sumaya mentioned, keeping in mind the directive that we, in the table topics contest, we generally have abstract topics where we get a phrase or a famous quote and you have to go and speak on it. So, all my table topics are kind of on the same lines. So, there is no specific theme, but this is the only theme for today's table topics. And I have 25 topics. Feel free to pick a number and I will give you the topic for that. Anyone who wants to start first?
I want to start.
You have a choice of 25 numbers. Pick anyone. 1 to
25.
25. Toastmaster Jayanti, ambition is good, but up to a certain level. Ambition is good, but up to a certain level. Toastmaster Jayanti.
So ambition is good, but up to a certain limit. It could be very different what came to my mind after listening to this. Recently, I was writing an essay that economic development is very hard to maintain when we look at the ecological development at the side. So economic and ecology. What I wrote at that point of time that it is possible to attain both, that you use the natural resources, you use the renewable energy, and then you just keep on growing the economy part, the GDP part, everything will grow. But when I read different people's view, what I understood is there is no limit to growth, but we do not have unlimited natural resources. It is limited, and we cannot have unlimited economic growth, unlimited GDP growth. There will come a point where we'll have to know that this is where we will be happy. This is what we want to attain. Same with ambition. Ambition is nothing but the development of us, the growth of ourselves. Even if we want to grow, we can grow, but there will come a point where you will have to know that this is what I wanted in my life. I have achieved it. Now, am I happy? If that is the point, then you know that whatever you achieve after this, it's just an addition, but you will know that this is my threshold, this is my limit. But if you just keep on wanting, as human nature, if I have achieved it, I want it more, then it will just push you further, but you will go nowhere. So that is my takeaway from this topic.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jayanti. Knowing your threshold is very important, which a lot of us do not really ponder on. With that, next volunteer, please. Jaya, you want to go? Pick a number, 1 to 24.
7.
7. Toastmaster Jaya. Every cloud has a silver lining. Every cloud has a silver lining. Toastmaster Jaya.
Okay. So after hearing this topic, what's coming to my mind is there is a limit to everything, and that limit is like a silver lining that a cloud has. For example, let's assume that we are communicating with a person who is a stranger. While we are doing it for the very first time, we cannot cross our limit by asking more of their personal questions. They might not be interested in communicating with us because we are meeting that person for a first time. We need to know the silver lining that we have while communicating with other person. Likewise, if we are talking in a meeting, we have to know our boundaries. We cannot talk anything. Like in Toastmasters, we have this rule of we have to refrain ourselves from talking about sex, politics, and religion, right? That is more like a line. We should not cross that border. So I believe knowing our boundaries, knowing our limits are extremely important. And yeah, so those are the points that's coming to my mind. Back to you, Toastmaster Richa.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jaya. Knowing our own limits. How many of you have thought what is the limit that you have? In fact, I sometimes think, do we even have a limit? Or probably humans are unlimited, at least a potential. With that, next volunteer. Kavita, do you want to go? Is she there? No. Toastmaster Richard, you there? Kavita, you there? You want to try? No. Toastmaster Richard, you want to go?
Yes, yes, go ahead. Number 10.
10. Toastmaster Richard, your attitude determines your success. Your attitude determines your success. Toastmaster Richard.
Your attitude determines your success. I do believe that your attitude determines your success because last year in the month of May, I was overweight by 23 kgs and my clothes were not fitting me, and I had to make the changes because I knew I was bound to get married in 2 to 3 years, which means I had to change certain things, certain aspects of my life. So I signed up for with another company called Live Easy, which gave me a diet, which gave me an exercise, but I was always into fitness. So which gave me a diet. And I never thought weighing your food makes so much of a difference. And that was a huge experience for me. And from 83, I've dropped to 63 kgs now. And I have to drop few more kgs in order to for me to bulk up. So it's been an amazing journey, and my attitude changed amazingly. The reason is I wake up at 4 o'clock, I go for a run early in the morning, and after that, I ensure I take a cold shower, which I absolutely hate. And but these are the changes that one needs to make in order to succeed in your life, because I have heard there are always trade-offs in life. Yeah, if you want to become fit, that means you need to eat good food. If you want to be a happy marriage, that means you need to know what love is, what relationship is all about. Which means my attitude towards marriage also changed because I started reading a lot of books, which gave me an interesting fact that, okay, what do I need from the partner that I want to have? So these are the things that you need to make changes in life. I wanted to get back to Toastmasters because I felt that uh, that is another change that I wanted to make in life. So I got back to Toastmasters. Now I'm giving a lot of speeches, which means I want to, be the best speaker, which also gave me an opportunity to host an award ceremony as well within my own department. So attitude is absolutely important to succeed in life. Thank you, Toastmaster Richa.
Thank you, Toastmaster Richard. That mention of cold shower sent a chill down my spine. I don't know how do you do that too every morning. Kudos to you, and definitely you have your attitude is definitely in the right direction. I would say you're well ahead of a lot of people who do not pay attention to their lives. Next volunteer, Ritika, you want to go? So you have 1 to 24 without 7 and 10.
Number 8.
8. Toastmaster Ritika, good things come from good thinking. Good things come from good thinking. Toastmaster Ritika.
Hi, everybody. Like everyone's life is unique. My life is also unique, and the way it responds to my thinking is also very different. I respond very well to criticism. I respond very well to arguments. I respond very well to negativity. Because when things don't go my way, that's when my dormant mind wakes up, takes charge of things, becomes more alert, and tries to understand why is it not going my way. Because trust me, I'm a very lazy person. If everything is fine, I just sit back and watch life like a movie and enjoy it with popcorn. But when things don't go my way, that's when I get up, take charge of things, and make major decisions. So yes, good things happen to me when my thinking is challenged, when I am challenged. Okay, 1 minute is up. I haven't changed the virtual background. So recently I changed my job. The job profile was very difficult, very challenging, and I was quite happy in my earlier company. I was chilled out. It was going like a movie with a wonderful butter popcorn next to me. But I took it up because the interviewer told me, can you do it? It's a very challenging job, all this. The minute he said that, I like, okay, you think I can't do it? Let me accept the offer. I accepted the offer. I changed my city from Bangalore to Pune. I joined office. And from day one, my mission in life was to take up every project, do my best. I always do my best, but then when I was challenged, my good thinking woke up and I took it up. And of course, I won a lot of awards within 6 months. I got a good rise, I got a good high, good feedback. And that's when my A game comes in picture. So, yes, good thinking happens, but you should also respect how those things happen, what you do with it, and make the most of whatever happens around us. With that, back to you, Toastmaster Richa.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ritika. Oh my God, someone dared to challenge you and got the answer back. But that's very true. A lot of us have stopped challenging ourselves. At least that's true with me. And that's why we do not know what's the limit up to which we can go ahead. That brings me to the point Toastmaster Jayam mentioned. Please don't do this in your speeches. Don't refer to a previous speaker. But yeah, that we should know our limits, but we have set that limit and we are not able to cross it. We should try and challenge it some of the times. With that, anyone else wants to go ahead and take up a table topic? Or Toastmaster Prithvijit, can we see you on camera?
Yeah, 1 second. Am I visible to you?
Yes. Do you want to go ahead and take a table topic?
Hello?
Yes, you are visible, audible, both.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So you have to choose a number between 1 to 24, and 7, 8, and 10 are not there. Not available.
I'll go by 23rd.
23rd. Oh, this is my favorite topic. Thank you for choosing that. Toastmaster Prithvijit. Whose life is it anyway? Whose life is it anyway, Toastmaster Prithvijit?
It's so tempting to ask ourselves, whose life is it anyway? Because Life we always construe to be a gift of an entity which is non-existent sometimes and non-visible. It's sometimes known as unseen, and we consider it to be residing somewhere in the heaven abode. However, have we asked ourselves, whose life is it anyway? Is it a life of somebody who's been gifted, that has been gifted to us? Is it a life which is external, which we try to construe when we see others around us living? Maybe a life which is a bit uh, fabricated? Or is it a life that we tend to live by the perception of others? To be very honest, the life that we live is actually a creation of our own self, because that life resides within us. The life that we are residing right now, or living right now, is actually a creation of all the deeds that we have created in the past. And the life that is going to come in the way forward is going to be the creation of the deeds that we will do at present. Thus, whenever I ask myself, whose life is it anyway, I always think of it that the life is the deeds that actually create at this present moment. Otherwise, what about the sorrows that has made me what I am today? What about the joys which always elude me to get more joyful in the way forward? It's whole a culmination of the deeds that, in other words, we call karma. That is the life that we are leading right now. Over to Toastmasters. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Prithvijit. Indeed, our life is not what is given to us by the perception of others, but it is how we create it. So we should stop thinking about what others think and probably start living it the way we want to. With that, shall we come to the end of table topics, or does anyone want to give a try? One more topic. Kavita and Kaviyarsu. Both of you have not spoken. If either of you want to go ahead, let me know. No? Fine. Okay. With that, we come to the conclusion of table topics session. I hope you all got a glimpse of what awaits you for the contest. And I hope that the educational session combined with this practice may have given you a start, and all the best for your contest. With that, back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Richa. Do I hand it over to timer, Ritika?
Yeah, sure. I will
Yeah.
read out the timings. So, good news is nobody exceeded time. Everyone was within time. Toastmaster Jayanti, you were ambitious for a whole of 1 minute 50 seconds. Well done. Toastmaster Jaya, silver lining, 1 minute 4 seconds. Toastmaster Richard, your attitude for 2 minutes 9 seconds. A good attitude. Of course, I took 2 minutes 17 seconds. Good thinking. Prithvijeet, Toastmaster Prithvijeet, whose life is it anyway, for a whole of 2 minutes 5 seconds. Well done, everybody, and back to you, Toastmaster Richard.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ritika. But I now hand this over to our presiding officer, Jayanti.
Thank you, Toastmaster Richard. You were absolutely amazing throughout the session. It was so engaging from everyone's side. So I would like to thank everybody, Toastmaster Richard, Toastmaster Ritika. Thank you for being an awesome timer. And Toastmaster Richa, thank you for conducting and helping us participate actively. Almost everyone has got a chance to organize their thinking and use those tips shared by Toastmaster Shumaya. And lastly, and most importantly, thank you, Toastmaster Shumaya, for coming here, accepting our invite and sharing so many insights. I just wrote them down point by point, and I try to implement some of them in my table topics. And we will be sharing this recording. So, your wisdom is not going in vain. Everybody will watch it and rewatch it. and we will be using it. Thank you, Toastmaster Shumaya, and we are really, really grateful for you coming to our club and delivering this education session. And with that, we have come to the end of the session. We have not kept any voting because this was a practice session. So if all of you come on camera, we will take a photo and call it a day.
Should we all put a heart emoji
Yes, yes,
for the
why
photo?
not?
Let's do that.
I think my DP is better than what I'm looking right now.
No, you are fine.
I didn't know, Sumaya, you were thinking this.
Your heart is gone, Sumaya. You can
I'll
bring
get it back. Yes,
Oh,
yes.
mine
it
is
just
also gone.
goes. It just goes. Okay.
Yeah, I know. Okay, quickly, click.
Yes.
Richa, heart. Okay.
Yes, done. Thank you.
Okay.
Wait, I'll just share it just before it goes away. Hopefully covered everyone's. But anyway, thank you everyone for coming here and participating. So here I close the meeting and we can drop. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Jayanti, no meeting today, is it? No continuation of the meeting? No.
I will put the link. Let's connect at 11:30.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.